We're live, and it is Christmas Eve in the United States of America, particularly in Mountain Standard Time. I just left my mom's place, and she gave me a really cool gift. She gave me a picture of a goat, and I know for some of you that would be an awful present, but for me, it's a perfect present because I love goats. She knows I love goats, and I've been talking for years about buying a goat painting of some sort, and she found this really cool photographer who sold prints on metal, and he took a really neat picture of some mountain goats here in Colorado, and that is what she got me for Christmas. So it's really, really nice, and I don't think you guys would be at all interested in it, but for me it was a really thoughtful gift because it's something I have been literally talking about for close to a decade, and she got it for me this Christmas. So that was really, really nice of her. But I'm not here to talk about my family gifts because, like I said, none of y'all are interested in that. I'm here to talk to you guys because it's Christmas Eve, and some of you are new adults. Not all of you, but some of you are new adults. And as a new adult, I think you may be experiencing your first Christmas letdown. I know I experienced my first Christmas letdown probably the Christmas after I graduated. Merry Christmas Eve. Um, and it was like the first Christmas that my family really wasn't doing anything, and I really didn't have any plans to do anything. My friends were out of town. I think I had to work during the day. Oh, thank you. Merry Christmas. Uh, and I remember thinking, like, is this what Christmas is? Like, normally Christmas is presents, and Christmas is food, and Christmas is all this other stuff. And that was the first time I felt Christmas the way most adults in the world feel Christmas, as like just another day, but you're grateful to be off work. And so I want to just have a chance to like talk with you guys and let you know that that feeling is a completely normal and valid feeling. There's nothing wrong with that feeling. There's nothing wrong with feeling like Christmas has become a letdown since you're no longer a child. Because really and truly it is. Unless you're one of those like people who gets off on listening to Christmas music and putting up Christmas decorations and doing the whole 9 yards. If you're not one of those people and you're just like living your life the best way you can, Christmas doesn't have a lot. I mean, I actually, after I got legally an adult, I really didn't dig Christmas at all until I had my daughter. And then I was like, oh, I have a kid to shop for. This is fun. But then, like, after me and my husband divorced, she started spending Christmas with her dad as part of our custody arrangements. So, like, she's not here right now, she's with her dad. And so, like, for the last 3 Christmases running, I've not spent them with Stephanie because our custody arrangement makes it to where her dad gets her every Christmas break, every spring break, and every summer. So yeah, Christmas for me is like I sleep in, I go by my mom's place and I say hey. My brother's got a bunch of kids at his house, so sometimes I'll go over there and I'll, bring presents and have fun. But in terms of like what I do, Christmas is not a big deal for me. Merry Christmas Eve. So like some of the excitement that people have for Christmas, I mean, I'm glad you do. I'm really grateful that you do, but for me, it's just a chance to be off work. Happy holidays. Uh, so, Merry Christmas in Spain, Merry Christmas in Israel. Or is it, it wouldn't be, it is technically Christmas like the 25th, but I guess has it hit Hanukkah yet? I'm not sure. But just saying, don't feel bad if you don't feel excitement over holidays. Not every holiday is exciting, you know? Okay. Yeah, Christmas is just it's just one of those things. It's whatever all holidays honestly are whatever you make them. Like for me, I've always made sure that since I became an adult, I buy myself something for holidays. And so, okay, third night of Hanukkah, cool. I buy myself something for holidays and I treat myself in that way. I'll have a nice meal on holidays. That's another way I treat myself. And if I'm not in the mood to cook, then I take myself out to eat for holidays. And that's how I treat myself for holidays. And you just have to kind of make it what you want it to be, honestly. If you want it to be a big bash, you're gonna have to put in the elbow grease. If you want it to be a kickback, then you're gonna have to go ahead and get your party supplies and make it a kickback. But if you are feeling like it's lacking something, ask yourself what it is it's lacking and then provide it for yourself. Because once you become an adult, no one else is going to do that for you. The people around you aren't going to feel a responsibility to make sure that the holiday season is special for you. So, with that being said, you might have noticed I was opening a box. I was opening a box because I ordered a couple of things from Zen Market. Shit, a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, and I finally got it in, and so I'm excited to look at the things that I got because I actually forgot I got some of these things, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at right now, and then just talking about whatever. Thank you for all of the Christmas wishes. Of course, I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, Christmas Eve, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you happen to be celebrating. I hope that you're finding peace and love and happiness and a sense of companionship and community wherever you are. Um, it's also important for us to try to reach out to our friends if we can, because honestly, this is a hard time for a lot of people. All of us, if we're fortunate, have grown up with family members and other friends, and over the years we all lose somebody. I mean, and if you haven't lost anybody in your life, you may be the one that's lost first. But we all go through sadness, and it's times like holidays when we remember all the people that we've missed and all the people that we lost because they're not there to celebrate with us. And so it's a really tough time for people who maybe had a fresh loss this year, or maybe this was a time of the year that they lost somebody, or just somebody that they had a real affection for, that the holidays bring up those memories. So keep an eye out for your people. Listen to them if they say they're having a tough time, but be cognizant of that, because a lot of people feel abandoned during the holiday season as well. And we can't forget that for some of us, Christmas literally is like, I get to sleep in today. For other people, it's a reminder of everything that maybe the year hasn't been. And so just keep them in mind and reach out where you can. If it's your friends, try to holler at them, make some phone calls if you can. Hey, Tony. But just keep them in mind, because it's tough. You know what? This life is tough. And I say that all the time, and I feel like a broken record when I say it, but I say it all the time because it's the absolute truth. This life is tough. This life is really tough. The craziest things go on, and you would think that in a world where so much positivity and joy and happiness can exist, you wouldn't have the possibility of such awfulness existing. But like just today, I saw a video on the internet of a child, I would say a kid of maybe about, I'm guessing maybe 8 years old, being stomped out by an adult, like kicked in the head, kicked in the chest, hand stomped on, broken. And the video was a video of the treatment of a Uyghur child in China. And I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking to watch. And I watched it the one time, and then I cut it off because I couldn't watch it again. But, in a world where that kind of vitriol can be unleashed on a child, that lets you know it ain't all fun and games out here. This is a tough world that we live in, with people who can put it in their mind to harm a child because that child is different than they are. So, we have to find our places of joy and our centers of peace wherever we can, because the world's not promising you these things. So, that's why I buy myself a box of treats for Christmas, because I got to treat myself. So I'm glad that you're at peace this holiday season, Rosario. So let's start with what I got, my goodies. I have this, which I know I'm not supposed to show too much of this on camera. This is a Seek magazine. This is Seek magazine number 14. I ordered this from Zen Market because I'm not a part of the Japanese fan club, so I don't get these things automatically. And I'm allowed to show the cover. That I know. I can show the cover because the covers are on the internet. That's not a problem. What I'm not allowed to do is like do a flip through page by page for you guys, because these are supposed to be special contents for fans, or members of the fan club. So I'm not allowed to show you the rest of it, even though honestly the fact that I'm able to buy this means that this is not staying within the fan club. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah. Ooh, shit. Hey, daddy. Sorry. Some really beautiful photos of Minho in here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hello. Hello. Oh my gosh. Ugh. I'm sorry. Okay, so there's a spread in here before Minho went to the military. It's a spread of his fan meet, so some photos from that. And then there is a photo shoot with him in what looks to be one of the softest looking sweaters ever. And his hair looks very relaxed, and his skin looks great, and his jawline is everything, and his lips are so pouty. And I just love you. I just love you, Minho. I love you. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna show this because I can't show very much, but look at him. Look at him. Look at him. My goodness. You, the SM scout who ran him down in the mall, you knew. You knew. You knew what it was going to be. There's also beautiful pictures of everybody else in here. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's not the only one. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There's like a whole layout here of them just examining all the pieces of his face and body to talk about how beautiful they are. Like, seriously, I'm not even lying. Like, look at that. They're like examining every part of him and saying why it's so perfect. I stand. Yes. This is actually, there's like a good, I would say a good 15 pages of just pure Minho content. If you're on the fence about getting this, you should get it. Ooh, these are some really nice pictures of Taemin too. With his famous hair. Yes, Taemin on the street. I like it. I like it a lot. Him and his baby hands. This is nice. This is really super nice. Yeah. I'm here for it. There's a lot of Taemin material in here too. There's not as much Key material. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a really, really cute photo shoot of Key here. And I actually dig this outfit. Sometimes I'm not here for a lot of Key's outfits, but this time I actually really dig this outfit. This is the outfit. It's nice. It's nice. But it's mostly photo shoot stuff. There's not anything from his Keyland stages, but I think that's because the content from his Keyland stages were in Seek number 13, so that's why there's not a lot of that here. There's some really nice Onu pictures here. Good stuff. Ono didn't do a showcase when Voice came out, I don't believe, so that's probably why there's no showcase pictures for him here, but that's okay. That's okay. We're fine. We're not complaining. We're not complaining. But yeah, this is really nice. Really nice. And unlike a lot of years, there's not as many advertisements in this Seek. So for those of you who aren't Shiny fans, what I'm talking about probably doesn't even matter to you. But usually the Seek magazines, anytime Shiny is selling any merchandise, there'll be advertisements for the merchandise, so you'll know what all is for sale so that you can plan accordingly to buy it. There's really not that much of it in this one because there's really not a lot of Shiny stuff for sale right now because of everybody being in the military. So it really is more focused on pictorials, and I dig it because they're really beautiful pictorials. So if you've been on the fence about buying Seek number 14, I highly recommend it. It's a great time to be had. Oh, I will show you a picture of Taemin. I know. So I'm going to show you Taemin's, like I said, it's him with his famous hair. But since I showed you Key and I showed you Minho, it's only fair that I show you Taemin and I show you Onu. But this is like the first picture in Taemin's pictorial set, and it is a glorious picture. Look at that face. Look at that baby. Isn't it beautiful? So that is the first picture from his section of the magazine. And then Onu has a really nice picture as well. He looks very peaceful in this picture. I will say that. Look at him. Look at him. Good times. I already talked about Onu and my general feelings of love and compassion for him on his birthday, but in case you didn't see that, you can go back a couple of lives and you'll see it there. Let's see, what else did I get? Oh, I forgot I got this. All right. This is something I needed from my Red Velvet collection. So let's look at that real quick. If you can't tell already, this is Rookie by Red Velvet. And I have a copy of Rookie. I actually got it on a Secret Santa one year, actually. It was a Secret Santa from the photo card forum. But the copy I got, I believe, has Irene on the cover. And Silgi is my bias, so I got Silgi's cover. So I might actually sell my Irene cover, to be honest with you, because I can't have... My shelves are full to the tipping point. I don't have room for extra covers that I can't use. But yeah, this is Rookie. Fun fact, Rookie is the only K-pop CD that I own by Red Velvet that I cannot play in my car. I don't know what's wrong with the CD plate, but I can play every other Red Velvet CD I have. This one, when I put it in my car, it says no CD. It's really weird, and it reminds me of that tweet about, would fans notice if K-pop albums didn't have music on them anymore? Bitch, I noticed, because I play them all, and I was very disappointed that it was not on there. Speaking of Psycho, because somebody asked in the comment section, I have heard Psycho, and I really like Psycho. I think Psycho is a return to form for Red Velvet. I don't consider myself a Rebel Love. There's really only one fandom I consider myself a true, stan of, and that is SHINee. I'm definitely a Shawwall. But, I have a love for BTS. I have a love for Red Velvet. I have a love for 2NE1, but I don't consider myself that stan for those groups, because there's just other things that, I don't pay attention to. I don't watch Variety for Red Velvet. I don't watch Variety for BTS. I watch Variety for SHINee. So that's what I'm saying. There is a difference. But a lot of Rebel Loves that were Zimzalabim supporters, they have been really upset at the love that Psycho has seen, because they feel like, oh, you're just jumping on the ship because you only like the bad boy part of Red Velvet. Well, I hate to break it to you, Bad Boy is a superior song. And the visuals that went along with the song were phenomenal. So yes, we are all big fans of Bad Boy. However, that doesn't mean that people are wrong for checking out during Zimzalabim and Oompa Oompa, or even checking out during Really Bad Boy. Because to be honest with you, those follow-ups weren't great. Summer Magic was okay. It was okay. It was okay. But let's be honest, Zimzalabim is a hard song to get behind. Even though I have Zimzalabim and Oompa Loompa, sorry, not Oompa Oompa, sorry. Alex said Oompa Loompa and now it's stuck in my head. Even though I have those albums, there's only one or two songs that I really dig on either one of the mini albums. And I can't even remember what the verses to Zimzalabim sound like. The only thing I remember about Zimzalabim is the Zimzalabim, and then the part Zimzalabim, Zimzalabim, Zim. That's all I remember of that song today. I do not remember the verses at all. And then for Oompa Oompa, I hate that song. I have a strong, passionate dislike for that song because of the man in the background going Oompa Oompa Oompa. I hate it. I hate it. Thank goodness that Eyes Locked, Hands Locked is on that mini album, because otherwise it would be a complete failure for me. But yeah, I'm a fan, and I own all of the Red Velvet mass-produced comebacks. Starting with Ice Cream Cake, I got them all. But I'm just very disappointed in the sound when it comes to what SM is doing. And I've had a conversation with friends in my group chat. It's me, Alex J, Tarian, and Mason. And I said that part of what's wrong with what's going on with Red Velvet and SM artists in general currently is that SM buys music all the time. Like they're constantly purchasing music. And it's not just contacting a London Noise or contacting the Stereotypes and saying we're looking for a song for XO. A lot of times they have people in their music department who buy music that's already been released, but maybe it was released in not Korea, and they'll buy it for the option of releasing it in Korea. And so that's why you have Jordan Fisher doing his song All About Us and then turning around and hearing that exact same song on NCT's Regulate album, because SM bought the option to that song even though that song came out years ago. Like, let's see, the Regulate album came out in 2018, right? That Jordan Fisher song came out, I believe, in like 2014, 2015. Like, it came out a while ago. And also, FYI, Jordan Fisher is gorgeous. He's going to be on the new To All the Boys I Ever Loved movie that's coming on Netflix, like the sequel or whatever. Glorious. He's a good looking man and he sounds really good and he's a terrific dancer. But that is a complete side note. But SM will buy these songs that are years old and they don't do much with them once they get them. Like, they will obviously do lyrical translations, but the background music, the production pretty much stays the same. And because of that, you have stuff that stylistically is years old. And it makes it to where the song itself sounds dated when it comes out because it's a song from 2014 or 2015 or 2016 and the styles have changed. And one of the things that we talked about in our group chat was that they definitely need to spend the money on finding producers in Korea who are doing current music and having comebacks crafted specifically for the group, original songs, instead of taking this booklet of songs and being like, okay, we're going to pick, page 57, page 72, page 165, page 215, and that's, if you don't think it's true, there's an interview that Taemin does with an American, it's not BuzzFeed, but it's something similar to it. Let's see. Taemin interview. A Billboard. Okay. So, yes, iHeartRadio. It was the iHeartRadio / Billboard interview that Taemin did where he was talking about like his process for music. And he literally said, I opened the book and I looked through the songs and I picked the songs that I thought would work for my comeback. He literally said that. So it's not me making stuff up and coming up with conspiracy theories. This has been confirmed. And so because of that, this is the reason why I say I'm a Shawl, because I don't watch these kind of interviews for other people, but I watch them for SHINee. Anyway, I'm digressing. Because of that, that's why you end up with these songs that, number one, don't always sound like they match the group because they weren't made for the group to begin with, and songs that sound dated before they've even kind of come to fruition. And a lot of like the weird songs that you hear Red Velvet do are songs that were bought by SM with the thought that because this song is so weird and kind of jarring, it's not going to get old. And so that was their rationale when they bought a Zimzalabim and a Oompa Oompa. And they thought, okay, well, this song is so weird that it's going to be timeless. That's not the way it works. Songs are not like abstract art where because it's so strange, it doesn't have a time or place. Songs very much kind of live in the moment that they're made. So I really wish that SM would take the time to just, kind of find a musical director that is only the director for that group, and their job is to source artists to craft music around the group for that time period and for that place. And there's so much talent in Korea, it is ridiculous. There is so much talent in Korea. Okay, Jinbo wrote Look for Red Velvet for the Perfect Velvet album. He also wrote Close the Door for Shiny for Shiny's Everybody album. And he's a producer who actually grew up in America, but he mostly works in Korea. He also produced Chicken Noodle Soup for J-Hope recently, but he is somebody that could be doing production work for SM and could really craft some things. I believe that the group, it's One Take and what's it called? One Take and something that wrote Superhuman for NCT. That is another option that you can utilize, and I love Superhuman. I think Superhuman is like classic SM sound. And then if you look at, just all the other people that are out here, there's a Planetarium Records, I think it's PLT, Planetarium Records. They have a whole bunch of artists on their roster, and the artists on their roster are not just singers, they're also producers and writers. And there's one artist on their roster named June who actually wrote music for BTS. He wrote Not Today. Well, he wrote part of Not Today. So like there's a lot of people in Korea who are producing music, and they're producing music that people want to hear. So it's not that only the Swedish House Mafia and some of these other people are the ones that are capable of giving you a worldwide hit. There are a lot of people out here who are able to give you the music. You just have to ask for it. But SM's not asking for it. Like they're just, or at least they're not asking for it for like a craft, and that's one of the most frustrating things about being a K-pop fan. When I was a fan, well, I don't say when I was a fan, back when I primarily listened to American music, my favorite albums were albums that were created with a vibe in mind. So like I used to love neo soul. That is like my heart. That is where my spirit lives. And like Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite, D'Angelo's Voodoo, those are very special albums to me. But they were albums that had a theme and albums that marked a place, and they were worked on for a long time with one set of producers and maybe different musicians in and out, but like a main set of craftsmen to develop the storyline to release that album. And that's why that album still sounds amazing to me 20 years later. That's not done in K-pop very often unless you are an independent artist and you write your own music. So somebody like Crush can do From Midnight to Sunrise, and when they do when he does From Midnight to Sunrise, he's like, okay, this is the story I'm trying to tell. This is the way we fade in from one track to another and how they're going to relate to each other. Whereas at Red Velvet, it's like, here's the book of songs, toss out 10 tracks. We'll arrange them however we need to do it. Maybe put the ballads at the end and call it a day. And I just think that K-pop artists deserve better. And I think with the amount of resources that SM has, you could do better. I mean, especially like if you think about how much money SM is spending up front to have a book of songs, as opposed to just paying a market price to have somebody develop a project just for your artist. It just seems like the priorities are in the wrong place, if you know what I mean. So that's me giving my 2 cents about the whole thing. Okay, so next thing I have here is Sappy by Red Velvet. So I just said I had all their stuff, but I was lying because I didn't have this. But this is their second Japanese release. The songs on here are Sappy, Swimming Pool, Sayonara, Peekaboo, the Japanese version, Rookie, the Japanese version, and Power Up, the Japanese version. I bought this because I really, really liked the first release that they did in Japan. I cannot remember what the name of. I want to say it's called Cupcake, but I'm certain I'm lying. But the first Japanese release that Red Velvet did was really good, like really good. Cookie Jar. There you go. I knew it had something to do with sweets. But yeah, I bought Cookie Jar, and I really, really liked Cookie Jar a lot. Like the song and all of the music on the album. I thought it did a really great job of giving Japan the Red Velvet feel, but for them. Like it wasn't like they were just taking all of their Korean stuff and singing in Japanese. Like they had original songs for the Japanese market, but they were songs that fit in with their Korean discography. And a lot of K-pop artists don't do that. A lot of K-pop artists have a Japanese persona and then a K-pop persona. Taemin would be one of them. Like recently, he's been letting those two personas bleed together. But like if you listen to an Ace or a Press It, and then you listen to his first Japanese album or mini album, it's like, okay, how do these two things relate? They don't. They don't relate. So it is nice that they kind of are keeping their feel in Japan that's very similar to kind of their vibe in Korea. And I got the bigger version because like they always do two versions. Do like a bigger version and they do a jewel case. I got the bigger version because it was just nicer to look at, and it was the same price because I got it used. It didn't come with a photo card, but I didn't expect it to come with a photo card. I'm looking at these pictures. These are decent pictures. I don't understand the deal with the headscarves. The headscarf thing is kind of weird, but these are still really nice pictures. So if you have a chance to get this on the cheap, I recommend getting it. It's nice looking and it matches with the rest of my collection. In fact, if you look at these two, these really do look like they belong on the same shelf. So it actually does match the rest of my Red Velvet collection. So I'm really grateful to have that. Let's see what's else in this box because I really do not remember what I ordered. Okay, so there's only 2 more things in here, so we don't have that much more to go through. Oh, shit. Yeah. All right. All right, all right. I know what you are. Woohoo! Okay, so I'm hooping and hollering right now because this is ATEEZ's Japanese release, Shift the Map. Treasure Shift the Map? Treasure Shift the Map? Cannot recall. Sorry about that, y'all. I bought this on Zen Market because I wanted to. I don't really have any excuse for anything. So this is it in this treasure. And it can't. Oh, those are taped together. Okay. Oh. Sorry. Don't mind me. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Sorry, it has nothing to do with ATEEZ. It has to do with something else completely. Forgot I ordered that. Extremely disappointed that I... Alright, let's keep going. So this is ATEEZ Treasure Episode Extra Shift the Map. And this has a lot more songs than I thought it had. I don't know why. I thought that ATEEZ's Japanese release was going to be a single. Don't know why I thought that, but it's not. It's like a full album. That's cool. So let's get this out of the wrapping here. So here it is. There's 2 versions. Actually, there's 3 versions of this. Don't let me lie to you. There's an A, a B, and a fan club version because apparently ATEEZ has a Japanese fan club. I got the A version because it was cheap. It was like $12. So I was like, give me that one. This has a lot of songs from their Korean release. Actually, a whole bunch. It's almost like a greatest hits, to be honest with you. It's got Hala Hala. Actually, it's got 2 mixes of Hala Hala. It's got Hala Hala Expression Revisited. Wait a second, let me read that right. Hala Hala Expression Revisited, then Hala Hala Traditional Treatment Mix, then Pirate King Overload Mix, Treasure Soothing Harmonies Mix, Utopia Japanese version, Say My Name Flavor of Latin with Juwon Park, Illusion Chillin' with Buddy Mix, Wave Olander's Bold Dynamics Mix, Aurora Japanese version, Twilight Classic Buddy Mix, and Promise Notation from Senior Juwon Park. All right, okay. So it is like I know the names of these mixes is fucking crazy. But yeah, it's like a remix album with 2 Japanese versions of Korean songs. And this also has a DVD, which has the video for the Japanese version of Utopia and a making movie on it. So, slipcase. And then here's the front. And then, let's see what's here. Oh, this is some cards. I don't know if this was a pre-order thing or what. Maybe just comes with it since it does come in this slipcase here. But you have Hongjung. You have Songhua. And it's probably blurry, so don't take this as an official unboxing. There's other people who unboxed this before me. Jungho, who is starting to become my bias. I don't know why, but this little man right here is starting to become my bias. I don't know what's going on. I haven't had an ATEEZ bias, but he's slowly becoming it. I think it's his relationship. I think that's what it is. So I saw a video on my timeline that came across, and it was kind of spicy. It was Jungho and Wooyoung, and Jungho kept patting Wooyoung's butt, and I don't know why. I dig the video, and it just okay. I'm about to reveal. Actually, I'm sure I've said this before, but it's still very shameful. A lot of times when it comes to who's my bias in a group, fan fiction weighs heavily on my mind, and if I can see the ship, then I know that that's my bias. So it's starting already. Merry Christmas, Alondra. So yeah, look at right there. Mingi, Yunho, Yosung, and San. It wasn't Wooyoung. It was San. Okay, it was San. Okay, I'm saying it wrong. So Juno was patting San's butt, and then Wooyoung comes over and is like, "What are you doing looking at him? You need to be looking at me." It was kind of a triple thing. I don't know. I have a dirty mind, so don't pay any attention to me. But I remember watching that video and thinking to myself, already it's beginning. One of you will be my bias. That's the way it has to be. So there you go. And then the actual CD. The fuck is going on up there? Did you notice my lights got brighter? It's because they stomp upstairs, and it makes one of my light bulbs go out when they stomp upstairs. And they just stomped right now, and the light bulb fucking came back on. This is so weird. Who is your Super Junior bias? Okay, so I always feel like I have to fight whenever I tell people who my Super Junior bias is, because like a lot of people have mixed feelings about this individual. My Super Junior bias is Shiwan. He is my Super Junior bias. I didn't have a bias in Super Junior for a really long time, and then I saw the drama She Was Pretty, and I immediately knew me and this man are meant to be together. It's just a thing. I love him with facial hair. I think he is beautiful and terrific. I love him with no facial hair. He looks like a cat, and I want to stroke him. I think that it's controversial to have bias because he is ultra Christian, and a lot of the churches that he tends to tell people about are have like favorable opinions of, or churches that have unfavorable opinions about certain members of the population. He also recently got in trouble for some statements he made about the Hong Kong China stuff. It's a thing. It's a thing. But like at the end of the day, do I think that he's a bad person? No, I don't. At the end of the day, do I think he's somebody who's caught in a really tough situation because of who he is? Absolutely. I think that it's very difficult for Shuan because he's an actor, he's a musician, he does a lot of stuff internationally, and because he has this international presence, people expect that he should know everything about every country he interacts with, and that he should always do the right things all the time. And I think it's been really difficult for him to maintain his sense of self when everybody's got these obligations they put on him to be perfectly in the know and culturally sensitive to everything. I don't believe that in any way he tries to be culturally insensitive. I think it's just he makes mistakes because he's got to try to consider so much stuff, and he can't always consider every single thing. But personality wise, I think that he's a really interesting person. I find him to be very charming, and I'm going to continue to like him until he does something that breaks my heart. And then, of course, I'll have to call it a day. But I think that he tries really hard and he just can't win, and like the dog thing was really disappointing because he had nothing to do with that. Like, literally, it was the family dog. He wasn't in the country. He didn't fail to control the dog because he literally wasn't there. And the lady didn't die from being bit. Like, she didn't bleed to death. She died from, I believe it was sepsis, but she was somebody that must have had a compromised immune system, and so it ended up damaging her more to have this infected dog bite. It's a terrible thing that happened, and I'm certain that he feels terrible about it because the lady was a family friend. So it wasn't like it was some stranger and somebody said sick 'em boy and got on her. It was a family friend. So it was a tragedy all the way around. But people who had nothing to do with the situation, don't have any relationship to any of the parties, all of a sudden want to be like, you're a monster. Get out of here. Get out of here. Your presence is not wanted here. You just want to find a way to shit on him. It is amazing to me how he is like one of the most hated members of Super Junior in Korea. What for? Why do y'all hate him so much? I mean, I get that people don't. I get why international fans don't like the fact that has not come out as an LGBT supporter, and a lot of the Christian leaders that he quotes have been very anti-LGBT. I get that, and it's disappointing. But I'm also a person who has a lot of real life relationships, and maybe that's the reason why it's easier for me to reconcile. I have a lot of real life relationships with people, and because I have a lot of real life relationships with people, I have people in my life that I know for a fact are good people, good, decent, caring people. And they are ultra religious. And there's a lot of things that they don't jibe with because of their religion. And because I believe that people should be allowed to practice their religion, I don't shit on those people for them not agreeing with certain social issues based on what their book of worship says. Where I have a problem with people practicing their religion is when they decide to be hateful. If you are a part of a religion that says redhead people are not to be trusted, and because of that, you don't really hang out with redheaded people, that's your business. If your religion says redheaded people are not to be trusted and you actively seek redheaded people to disenfranchise, and you beat redheaded people and you call them slurs and you try to keep them from having their human rights, then we got a problem. But am I saying that you need to make sure that you invite redheaded people to your Christmas party? No, I'm not going to say that, because there's a lot of things that I personally don't get down with that people would think that I'm being super bigoted about. Personally, I have a big problem with relationships that have huge age gaps. And I know you're thinking, well, then how am I ever going to marry my K-pop love? It's not going to happen for me. I've come to this realization recently. But when I see a person dating someone who is clearly just out of their teens, and this is a person who is a big adult, I have a problem with that. And there's nothing wrong with me not wanting that in my household. I'm not going to go up to those people and say, you're a cradle robber and you're disgusting and I hate everything you do. But I'm just going to say that, my personal belief is that it's an unequal relationship. There's a power dynamic there that's unfair to the younger party, and I don't think it's right. But if that's what you want, that's what you want. And leave it at that. So, like I said, I have a lot of personal relationships, and I'm able to divorce myself from believing that he's a bad person just because his religious beliefs don't line up with what people think he should be out here espousing. And I get it, Tarian. I totally get it. I mean, you don't have to support Shuan. I'm not. Also, I want to make it very clear, me supporting him doesn't mean that you have to support him. And as somebody who has friends who are LGBT, I get that pain. I'm not saying I'm the same. I'm just saying I get that pain. And I get that pain because it's like one more arena that you feel like you're not welcome. And who wants to feel that way? Who wants to feel like they're not welcome? Who wants to feel like, you know, this is one more person I have to avoid? This is one more person who is thinking things maybe behind my back. Um, there's a lot of things that are very, it's like racist. I growing up in various parts of the South as a black person, I was exposed to a lot of racist people. And there are good people in the South that are still hella racist. And you would think that those two things can't go together. And probably it shouldn't. It depends on where your racism leads you, I guess. But those people, I would feel uncomfortable knowing that they believed something about me that maybe wasn't true. And although they were cordial to me and maybe treated me kindly, they still felt like maybe I wasn't good enough for them. And that hurt inside. But at the same time, you know, I had jobs to do, I had living conditions that needed to be maintained, and I had to keep going. And so I totally get where Tarian's coming from. Does that mean I was going to vote for any of these people that I knew were active racists? Hell no. Does it mean that I was going to expend any more energy in those people's direction when I knew that they didn't care for me? Hell no. But, you know, it's just, there's no easy answer for the situation, honestly. There really is there's no easy answer, because the minute that we actively, for those people who are not like aggressively anti whatever, for those people that maybe just grew up not believing something and maybe need to have their eyes open, I think it's important for us to keep the lines of communication open. So I'm not going to just shut somebody out, but at the same time, I would encourage them to get an education. So that's where I am with that, for sure. I feel like we've just delved into a really not fun conversation. But these are conversations to have. They're conversations to have because they're real conversations. We could sit around and act like it's not a problem, but it is. There's a lot of hypocrisy that we have to deal with on a daily basis just to get through our days. And so, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Don't be sorry for mentioning it. It's not, I decided to go any as deep as I wanted to. I could have just said I'm not going to answer the question, but I did. So, it's on me. But I am going to say, there are times when I've really had to check myself because I've loved somebody or been friendly with somebody who really was not worthy of love or attention or affection, or they really let me down in some way. And I recognized my hypocrisy, and I was ashamed of my hypocrisy. But I still had to have these discussions, because how can I improve myself if I can't acknowledge the areas where I need improvement? And so, because of that, I'm not afraid to have these conversations. I know these are needed conversations, and I'm willing to have them on camera because I'm not ashamed of who I am, who I've been, and who I hope to become. So I'm okay having these conversations, guys. Woo! That was a lot. All right, I'm just putting this ATEEZ album back together. I know I didn't show you guys the photo book, but there really wasn't much to show you all. The cards were the main thing. This didn't come with a photo card, but that's okay because I didn't anticipate it coming with a photo card. So I'm not disappointed. You guys might be disappointed, but I'm not disappointed. It came with everything I thought it was going to come with. Now I'm going to show you the thing that I'm the most disappointed with, and I feel really bad because, like, this is my own fault for acting off of emotion rather than maybe being more considerate of what I was doing. So I bought what I thought was Guhara's album, her Korean album, because the advertisement, or the listing that I was going to buy from, had good ratings. They weren't on like the warning list for Zen Market. And the picture said what it was. And I'm like, okay, this is good. We got it. We're good to go. this is what I got in the Zen Market box. And this is the first time I've been scammed like this. But you know what? There's always a first time for everything. You know what this is? This is a Burn CD. It's a Burn CD. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. $20. You know, you live and you learn, then you get loves. Wait, that's diapers. But still, you know what I mean. I'm not even mad. Like I was upset when I was talking about it a moment ago. I was upset, but I'm not even mad now because at the very minimum, a lesson learned. Hopefully, there's actual music on this Burn CD. But yeah. Oh well, it happens. So there's that. And then the last thing I got is this, which, again, I'm hoping so. I probably will let Zen Market know, but like literally that's been sitting in the warehouse for like a month. Well, not a month. It's been sitting in the warehouse for like a couple of weeks. So it may be too late to report feedback on that. Anyway, I'm digressing. So I feel bad showing you guys this because I'm sure most of you figured I already had this like for a long time. No, I didn't have this yet. It's Taman's Famous. I meant to buy this when it first came out, and I don't remember what was happening with my life at that time. But whatever was going on with my life, I didn't actually buy this when it came out, and I have all of the rest of Taman's Japanese releases. Just don't have this. So I ordered this because it's brand new, hadn't been opened before, and it was $10, something like that. It was super cheap for a brand new CD. And so I figured, hey, it's no time like the present to rectify your mistakes, to rectify your oversights. So I went ahead and I got it. I've already heard Famous, and like I like this mini. This is a good mini album. But yeah, I didn't buy it before now, and there's still 2 more versions I need to get. I don't think that there's a fan club version, or at least I haven't seen a fan club version, but there are 2 limited versions, and so I need to get those. Just haven't gotten them yet. But it's got an Obi strip. I don't know if there's anything special with the Obi strip. There you go. It's got a picture of him in all white. It's like a white jean jacket and white jeans and white boots. Damn, those are ugly boots. It almost looks like he's in like a straitjacket. Like he almost looks like he's in like a mental asylum or something. And then there's another picture of him in this all white outfit on the inside. The CD plate is like raindrops. Really nice. And then the same kind of raindrops going on in the back behind the CD plate. That's cute. And then also Muy Triste. Right there. The songs on here are Famous, Slave, Tease, Exclusive, It's You, and Colors. And let's see. Ooh, a little bit. The jewel case is a little bit hefty. I still can't believe I saw him in the same room as me at the Super M concert. Yes, I did say muy triste because he looks sad. Ay, muy triste. So let's see here. Famous Taman. We got lyrics, more lyrics, a photo. It's a nice photo. It's a little blurry, but someone was being very handsy with the filters. More lyrics, and another very brooding, sad boy. Those emo hours. And this last one here. There you go. Okay, can I just say, like, I wish I could speak Spanish. Stephanie actually does a much better job because she's been taking Spanish classes now for like the last 2 or 3 years. But yeah, whenever I use my 2 or 3 phrases of Spanish. I always use them with a very affected tone because that is how I learn those phrases. And so it's kind of like how people learn English from memes. And so when they say the words, they say them with an accent, even though maybe they don't have that accent. But it's just because that's how they learn the word. So yeah, whenever I think of muy triste, muy triste. That's the way, sorry, it's just the way that my mind works. I apologize. I could be better. I could be better, but then I wouldn't be me. So yeah, this is the jewel case version of Taman's Famous, which I'm really glad to have. Now I just got to get 2 more versions, and then I'll be good to go. But I don't know when I'm going to be getting them, to be honest with you, because I have so much shit to buy. Like, I'm so behind on so much music. So let me tell you guys about kind of where I'm at when it comes to music purchasing. I got a lot of shit I need to get. I don't have a list. I need to make a list. That's everything that was in the box, by the way. We're done with that. I have not ordered the new Red Velvet album yet. I need to get it. It's okay. You're fine. You're fine. I have not seen the new. I have not ordered the new Red Velvet album yet. I need to get that. I haven't ordered. I use Blooming. Need to get that. I have not ordered Beckett's new project. I need to get that. So those are 3 things that I've got on my list of things I need to get. I need to get the other version of ATEEZ's Shift the Map. I need to get the other 2 versions of Taman's Famous. I'm trying to think what all else. I have so many things I need to get. And then I placed an order with Yes Asia that I'm waiting to have all the parts come in, because once they come in, we're fist to party. So the Yes Asia, I'm trying to log into my account because there's so many things and there's no way I'm going to remember them all. So that's the reason I'm logging in. So bear with me for a moment while I do this. Password. I'm not telling you my password. I might buy the Real Guhara album, but to be honest with you, because of the fact that she just recently passed away, chances are it's going to be super expensive. So I'm going to hold off for a while. Kind of like when Junghyun passed away, his albums went like sky high right after he passed away. And I hate to talk about death like it's a commodity, but I'm just giving you the facts of the situation. It was sky high after he passed away. And so I'm kind of going to wait for the market to cool down before I go looking for it again. Because you see what happens during a hot market, right? So the albums that I have on order that have not come in yet are Golden's new EP, Hate Everything. And for those of you who don't know who Golden is actually Jisoo. Jebanoff, Good Thing. Jung Jin-woo's Rotate. Jung Jin-woo's In My Room. The Prison Playbook OST. Dress and Silgum's Not My Fault, and P1's Halo album. And all of them are ready in stock except for P1's Halo and Jebanoff's Good Thing. So we're waiting to get those in stock. But those are all of the albums I will be getting from Yes Asia. And I have a list of Not Right Now albums that I want to get from Yes Asia because I put them on my save later. So on my save later list, I have George's EP Lee. It's Lee. I'm also gonna try to get Lila Mars's Violinist, Gaho's mini album Preparation for a Journey, Villains album Bank Robber, Multi's album WHSH, and June's Today's. And for those of you who are seeing a trend here, yes, I'm basically ordering all the solos from everyone on Planetarium because Planetarium is my baby, and I didn't realize that all these solos were up for grabs because there's no actual Planetarium group album physical, I don't believe. But yeah, I highly recommend all of the things I just mentioned, especially June's Today's. That one's for Tarian. You will love that. So it was asked, is anyone still waiting for their Super M posters, the signed one? My friend is still waiting for her album from the official Super M site. She ordered it back in October. I have no idea what's going on. She might need to check on that, because if all she ordered was an album, that should have been here light years ago, because everybody else that I know got their albums. But them signed posters, let's talk about that. I ordered 2 signed posters, actually. I ordered Kai's signed poster and Taemin's signed poster, because I was going to do those as a giveaway. And because I was going to do those as a giveaway, well, I was going to do the Taemin poster for me, but the Kai poster I was going to do as a giveaway. Because I was going to do them as a giveaway, I'm like, all right, awesome. I could do this as a Christmas giveaway. Won't that be fun? I was told by SM that my albums would ship December the 5th. I have not heard shit back from SM since then. I know a lot of people have been hounding SM about their stuff and being like, hey, SM, what's going on? Where's my shit? And all of those people have been told the same thing. Sorry for the delay, sis. We're going to get right on that. Promise. No big deal. Just wait for it. It's going to be fine. No problem. And yeah, no. Fuck that bullshit. So let me get to the, what did they tell me? Here it goes. Okay. The message I got, and this is the last message I got from the SM Global store. This message was received by me on October the 10th, the day I ordered this poster. It says, thank you for your purchase. Hi, Samantha. You will receive an email with tracking once your order has been shipped. Ship times may vary during periods of high demand. Your order is expected to ship on December 5th, 2019. Click the link below to download the first mini album Super M digital files. Because they sold digital albums with everything you purchased on their store. Yeah, I have not heard a thing since. And I just feel like, at this point, I almost just want my money back. I mean, the posters were not expensive. Actually, this whole shipment was very reasonably priced. So the poster was $10 for Taemin, $10 for Kai. Shipping was $10.11 because they're going to be shipped in poster tubes. So poster tubes cost a little bit more money to ship. Tax was not that expensive. It was like $1. So this is not bad at all. This is actually a pretty good price. But all told, when you put it all together, it's $31.30. And I just read off my huge list of albums I still need to buy. So yeah, I'm kind of interested in getting these people to go ahead and get their shit together, because I could use that money buying Red Velvet's new release if I wanted to. I haven't checked the SM Global website recently. So wait, did they sell them on SM Global Shop and Super M Shop? SM Global Shop and Super M Shop, they're very similar. Like when I logged into the Super M Shop, it was my SM Global login. Like I didn't have to start a new account. So that's why I say the same thing. But yeah, like at this point, I'm not too fussed about it. I'm not really too fussed about it, but I have other stuff I could be buying with that money, if you know what I mean. So I'm looking at my order information, and it says my order for my digital albums is complete, but they are currently preparing my signed posters for shipment. And to be honest with you, I really feel like those of us who order these posters should not be surprised. If we ordered them for Christmas presents for people, I get it that, like, we're let down because they're not here. But let's just take a look at the schedule for these individuals. Unless they signed all of these posters before they were put up for sale, when has Taemin, Kai, Baekhyun, Ten, Lucas, Mark, Taeyang had any time to sign 200 posters or maybe 1,000 posters? Because we really don't know how many that Super M Shop sold. When have they had time between touring and promoting and going all around the world When? So, I think that rather than doing the smart thing, which was making it to where the sign posters were a limited release, or maybe making the sign posters $20 instead of $10, they're like, oh yeah, well, we'll offer sign posters and, we'll just sell until we're done selling them. Instead of saying, okay, realistically, Taman has maybe 3 hours worth of signing that he can do, and that'll be spread out over 3 weeks. So we're only going to sell 200 posters for each artist because that's all the time that they have. That's what they should have done, but I don't think that's what they did. I think they sold as many posters as they needed to sell as many digital copies of the album as they needed to. And that's where we sit at this moment. And SM's gonna have to deliver them too. Like, that's the other thing that's so frustrating. If SM was just canceling people's orders, that'd be great. But they can't. They can't because they sold these digital albums. And then they'd have to retract all of those digital sales that were attached to all those posters that were sold. So that's why SM's not going to do that. SM should have just done a pre-printed signed poster, to be honest with you. Also, the fact that they're doing like hand signed posters, that was dumb. That was really, really dumb. Like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just be like, for $10 you get a poster that has a pre-printed signature of whoever and just make that the thing instead of being like hand signed? Like, okay, let's just think about this in rational business terms. How many of us in this room, raise your hand, have bought a signed album from Mwave? How much did a signed album cost more than a regular album? I've paid sometimes 2 to 3 times as much as an album would cost me if it wasn't signed. And so if you are used to paying $30 to $40 for a signed CD as opposed to $20 for a regular CD, tell me what sense it makes to sell a poster for $10 when literally that's just the hand signed markup. That's not even really the cost of the poster. That poster really should have been $25. Honestly, it should have been $25. That would have been a reasonable price for a hand-signed poster. But that's not what SM did. And now you've got all these people who are like, a signed poster for $10 when I'm paying $30 and $40 for Mwave signs? I'll take that. And those people are the ones who bought these posters, who maybe bought like 7 posters, decided to get the whole set. And those people are disappointed. But in reality, it was a deal that was too good to be true. And I bought it just to see what the hell was going to happen with it. But, like, really, too good to be true. Too good to be true. Sorry, guys. I'm hungry. What's Christmas without chocolates? I don't know what this green filling is. It's kind of lemony. It's really good though. I got a whole bunch of chocolate for Christmas from like people I work with, and it's like really good chocolate. Ooh, like expensive boxes of chocolate. I received multiple expensive boxes of chocolate this Christmas. It's very strange. You know what I haven't done? I just now realized I haven't opened my Crush album. I don't know why I just thought about that right now. I bought Crush's new album. Have not opened it at all. I think the reason I haven't opened it though is because I bought it digitally as well. It's like I didn't have to open the CD in order to be able to listen to it. I should open it. I should open it. Should I open it now? Do I need to open it now? Should I open it now? I don't know. I'm not going to open it right now. I'm thinking about it, but I don't think I'm going to. Oh, well, you know what? I will open it because it'll give me an excuse to show you guys my goat picture. Yay! Let's talk about goats, baby. Let's talk about hooves and meat. Ah! Go. Comments. I missed them all. So, this is what my mom bought me for Christmas because I'm an adult and I get pieces of classy art to put in my home. Look at it! Isn't that beautiful? And it's made out of metal. It's printed on metal. Isn't that nice? Love it. So good. So yeah. That is what my mom bought me for Christmas because she knows I love goats. Let me tell you about goats real quick, just so you guys know. Well, of course I had to have a picture of a baby goat too. It's me and Stephanie. It's me and Stephanie, don't you see? Goats. So first of all, both me and Minho are Year of the Goat in terms of like our Chinese zodiac. Well, technically it's Year of the Sheep / Year of the Goat, the two of us. But also, goats are one of the most versatile animals on the face of the earth. Goats exist in every place where humans exist. They're one of the best survival animals that a human being could have as a companion. Like when it comes to cows, cows need a lot of room to graze in order for them to be able to eat and function, whatever. Goats can literally live off of weeds. They can live almost anywhere. They are found in desert conditions. They're found in mountainous conditions. They're found in forests. Goats live everywhere. Goats are one of the only animals that humans can digest their milk without problems. Like cows, people are lactose intolerant. Goats, not the same thing. Goats, you can drink all the goat milk you want. You can eat all the goat cheese you want. It stinks. Not gonna lie to you. Goat milk and goat cheese has a funk to it, but still, it's not gonna hurt your tummy. Not only that, but goats have been seen climbing the sides of mountains. Goats have been seen kicking random people's asses because they're stubborn and they live life the way they want to. Goats have climbed trees. Goats do whatever the fuck a goat wants to do. And that streak of stubbornness and survival is the reason why goats are the fucking best, and everyone should have goats as their spirit animal. And you can say spirit animal when it comes to goats because it's not offensive, like when people say that Lady Gaga is my spirit animal or Idris Elba is my spirit animal, because those are people and not animals. And also, we probably should leave the whole spirit animal thing alone because we're not Native Americans. So let's just go ahead and reel that back in. Either way it goes, if you're trying to compare yourself to an animal that survives on this celestial plane, you need to be considering goats because goats are the best. They really are. Like, everybody can get a goat. Goats can live everywhere. You know, if goats can't survive there, chances are people can't either because fucking goats can live everywhere. There's a goat for every terrain. There is a goat for every single condition that human people live in. Name a country, they got a goat. So I think that we all need to be kinder about goats because goats are amazing. They give us delicious, wonderful products, and they've been with us through all of the ups and downs of trying to survive on planet Earth. Honestly, we should be praising goats more. So anyway, that is the reason why this is a fantastic Christmas gift on my mom's part, because I love me a goat. I really, really do. All right, so now let's talk about Crush. I could call Crush a goat. I mean, there's a lot of people who consider him the greatest of all time, but I'm not going to say that because I feel like there's a couple of people that would be offended if I was to say that. But I do like Crush quite a bit. So I haven't opened this album yet. There's a couple of reasons why I haven't opened this album. Like I said, I bought it digitally because I didn't want to wait to listen to it until it came in the mail. So I've been listening to this album now for the last week and a half or so, maybe. So wasn't in a hurry to open it because of that. Number two, it is a jewel case. Not even a jewel case, it's like a digipack. And digipacks don't really have a lot to offer most of the time. So it's not like I'm in a big hurry to open a digipack. But also, I actually saw this album kind of unboxed on Crush's channel. He did a listening party with the guy who does the sketchbook show. And when they did the listening party, they had the album at the listening party, and he was looking through like the liner notes and stuff. So I kind of feel like I've already seen this album unboxed. So that's why I wasn't really in a hurry to open it up. But this is the Crush album, From Midnight to Sunrise. And then here is the back of the album and the track list. Can you see the track list? I don't know if you can. I don't know. It's probably not gonna focus. It's probably not gonna focus because it's my camera and it's shit. So it is what it is. Oh, I like that. That is nice. So this is the inside, and it's made to look like a vinyl. And what you can't see on camera, but what you can feel in person, is that the print on the CD is grooved like an LP. I don't. Does it show up on camera? It kind of a little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. Can you see it? It's grooved. Like when you run your fingers across it, it feels like a vinyl. That is a really nice touch. That is a really nice touch. And the album is very jazzy, so the label looks very much like a jazz album imprint label. So that's really, really nice. This is the inside of the digipack here. There you go. That is a quality. That is a quality piece of production right there. I cannot get over how much this feels like a vinyl album. I wish that you guys could reach through here and touch this. It really does feel like a vinyl. Like, can you hear? Look. Sorry, I had to do that because I'm corny. That's awesome. All right, let's get all the stuff out of the pocket here. So you have two things. You have this, which I assume is maybe a lyrics book, and this, which is the poster thing, which I saw them discussing on the show. So let's open this up here, From Midnight to Sunrise. Oh no, these aren't lyrics. This is just kind of shitty photography. I'm not pleased. Not pleased with this. No. Okay. Some of you might remember when I kind of did an unboxing of my Hayes album, She's Fine. And when I did the unboxing of that, there was like one photo book that had pretty photos, and there was one photo book that was a bunch of abstract bullshit photos. This right here is your abstract bullshit photos. Not best pleased. I'm gonna flip through it though, because y'all deserve to see. So, this is cute. I like that. This is disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. Not sure why we had to do that. Bullshit abstract photos. Bullshit abstract photos. This, I guess, is artistic. Bullshit abstract photo. Bullshit abstract photos. Bullshit abstract photo. Cute puppers. Nice owner. Production credits. What was the point of doing that? What was the point of doing that? What do we do that for? What do we do that for? I mean, I get he loves this dog. His dog is so cute. His dog is a little bitch, but and I mean that in the sincerest way. He was like on a show talking about how his dog had like social problems and like will bark and bite anybody who's a stranger. That's why I say his dog's a little bitch, because every time anyone from the production crew tried to get near his dog was like his dog was mean. That little dog is mean. I follow that dog on Instagram also, by the way, so I'm part of the problem. But yeah, like I appreciate the picture of you and your dog, because you and your dog is a motif on your albums. Like you have a picture of you and your dog on your Wanderlost album, so that's cool. But I just don't see the point of this. That I don't need. That you could have kept. Okay, so this is a poster. I know this is a poster because I've seen it on the thing that he did with the sketchbook guy. Can't remember his name now. So it is a poster that says "From Midnight to Sunrise" in the corner. And he's wearing, I don't know what the fuck that is. It looks like a turtleneck, but it also looks like maybe he just tied a napkin around his neck and tucked it into this shirt. And then like this really oversized Goodwill jacket. And are those leggings? Are those leggings? Something about that shirt and those pants don't look right. This is a terrible looking outfit. And then inside is all of like the notes, the handwritten notes for the album. Now this is, honestly, you could have tossed this in the garbage, basura, and you could have just kept this for me. This would have been fine, because this is actually what I'm interested in. I'm actually interested in seeing the lyrics. I'm actually interested in seeing all the little pictures and things like that, you know, so you can get the vibe of what the song is about. This is really cool. This I appreciate. I will never hang this up because I never hang up the posters that come with my albums. I just don't. I'm sorry. But I really do like all these little handwritten things. I know you can't really see it very well because, you know, camera, shit quality, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But it is really cool. Like, it's really nice. It's nice that it's all handwritten. Like, that is the coolest part of this. Especially because it's handwritten and he writes his English lyrics in English in his handwriting. So it's actually kind of cool to see what his English handwriting looks like. He actually has pretty decent handwriting in English, by the way. Like, there's even a part on here where, like, the lyrics, he messed up, I guess, spelling a word, and he, like, crossed out the letter and then put it the right way. That's so funny to me. And then there's a couple of lyrics here that look, they're tight. Yeah, the lyrics to With You, the lyrics to Sleep No More, and the lyrics to Ibiza are typed instead of handwritten, which I'm not sure why that is. I'd be interested to figure out why that happened. And the song Ibiza has the word Kardashian in it. Fun fact, kids. But this is really nice. I'm glad I opened this, because I saw it on the show, but I'm glad I saw it in person. This is really nice. All the time with you. I like it. Yeah. So that is my unboxing of Crushes From Midnight to Sunrise. Do I recommend you get this album? Absolutely. I recommend you listen to it digitally because, okay, well, let me take that back. First, I have to ask you, before I recommend you buying this album, I have to ask you, how do you feel about jazz and R&B? Because if you don't like either one of those genres, do not buy this album. You'll be highly disappointed. You'll be very, very upset. You won't like it at all. But if you like jazz and you like R&B, especially if you like 90s R&B, like Boys to Men, Troop, Mint Condition, then you'll love this CD. Because there's a lot of songs on here that sound very much like a 90s mixtape. So yeah, I dig it. I think it's really great, and I recommend it for those people who have the same wavelength. Um, Speaking of recommendations, I did recommend an artist to Tarian, and I think I said it too fast, and so now Tarian has no idea what I recommended. So let me give that recommendation to the room. It is an artist whose name is June, June. And he is a part of a collective of artists on the Planetarium Records label. He has a fun history. He actually was a trainee at Big Hit and trained with BTS. Not saying that he was supposed to be a member of BTS. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying he trained with them during the training process, because there's a lot of trainees that do a lot of things that don't necessarily end up in the same group. Boys and girls train together. That doesn't mean they're going to be in the same group. But he trained at Big Hit with BTS, and he helped write Not Today. So credentials, but I really like his voice. I think that he is a good recommendation for those people who like Crush. I think you'll like him. I'm gonna play one of his songs and get a copyright strike because that is the way my days have been going. Okay, so apparently you've heard of him. This is Good Morning featuring Villain, who is another part of the collective. The collective is Key Kei, the letter G, Kiji. Um, there is Villain, Mito, Gaho, June, and Jung Jinwoo. And there's also a female artist, Lindsay, but I don't think she's a part of the collective necessarily. But anyway, I'm totally digressing here. Gone out the way. This is a song from multiple people from PLT. It features June, Moti, and Villain, and it's called Days. So I'm gonna play a little bit of that. I'm not gonna play it super loud though, because I don't want to blow out your ears. I love California guitar.
Don't you know what the feel is 불을 켜 기분 내 상관없이 질린 맘이 비었어 너로 채워 yeah let's get it 목적 없이 도는 말은 no I don't get it 내가 듣고 싶은 것만 들어 뭉치 get it build 될 시간을 챙겨 매일 내걸 피리 bro 현감들이 쫓아올 수 있게 나를 aim I just wanna in your pairs coffee without stress that I miss gotta go I'ma do what I want 보인 것들은 뒤로 밀어버려 내 만큼은 그냥 show 이게 show 보인다면 네가 해봐 I do this all day 너는 따라오게 도와줬지 뭐
So that is PLT. It's basically the whole collective. But yeah, I really like them. Again, if that's not your kind of music, you're not going to want to listen to June's album. But there's a lot of really good stuff in there. He's got like a New Jack Swing song on the album. The album is good time. I really, really dig it. So if you're interested in that kind of music, I definitely recommend June's album. I recommend everything that Jung Jinwoo has been doing. First of all, Jung Jinwoo is extremely attractive. That helps. But also, his music has just been really, really nice. He has a very nice sounding voice. I dig it. And yeah, he's also fine. That doesn't hurt him at all. Not that I can see him when he's singing, but that doesn't hurt him at all. He's so cute. I'm sorry. I'm way out here thinking about how cute he is. Damn, he's cute. Mm. Mm. I'm gonna pull up a video so you can see how cute he is. I don't know if you can see him well in this video though. Can you see him well in this video? I'll be honest with you. I watched a live song of him. This is so dumb, me holding this thing in front of you guys. Oh, that's my favorite part. I really, really love that song. That is my favorite song so far that I've heard from him, Color. Like the verses are like really wispy and all that, and then all of a sudden he gets to the chorus like, "Would you be my color?" and like it explodes once he gets to the chorus. I dig it, man. I dig it. But yeah, that is Jung Jinwoo, and the song is called Color. And he's got 2 albums out. So if you'd like to get either of his albums, I think one is called In My Room and the other one's called Rotate, but I could be wrong. I really, really recommend him. Yeah. And he also is a fluent English speaker too. So boom, him and Villain are both fluent English speakers. He does a cover of Lauve's Paris in the Rain on the Golden Brother channel. And so, yeah, highly recommend. Hey, Mommy! So, yeah, I highly recommend him. Big ups. Big ups. But yeah, I'm eventually gonna get all of the solo albums from Planetarium because they're all phenomenal, and I'm really impressed with their company. Ooh, orange. La 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 la. I'm gonna eat it because I'm not throwing away chocolate, but nobody wants to bite into an orange chocolate without warning because it is a very strong essence. Ooh, tart. Tart is the word. In the UK, they have these solid chocolate oranges. They're not creamy, but it's shaped like a literal orange, and it's wrapped in orange aluminum foil, and they tap them on the table because the orange is in slices, but it's connected by a thin chocolate membrane that when you tap it on the table, that membrane breaks up, and then you can take out individual slices from this chocolate orange. It's so much fun. I've only bought one of those, but it was a good time when I did buy it. Is there anything else you guys would like me to talk about? Because I'm willing to talk about anything. This is our holiday. This is our Christmas Eve. I'm not even getting drunk. Like, that already is an improvement. So let's talk. Let's converse. That was delicious. I love chocolate. Why are you so awesome? That's funny. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of my vibe. Maybe it's just because, like waves of vibe. I don't know. It's just something about me. It's just really phenomenal. No. Actually, you know what? Let's have an exercise for the room. I had you guys raise your hands about if you've ever ordered anything. I did answer about Psycho earlier in the chat, so you should have caught that. Let us go around the room and let's all acknowledge something that we really like about ourselves that we might be self-conscious about saying that we like because people think we're bragging, but we just like secretly really love that about ourselves. Let's just go ahead and talk about it in the chat. You fucking, listen, if they come back, you need to go, Tarian. You need to go. It's a good time. It is a really good time. Anyway, something that I really like about myself, but I get self-conscious saying it because I feel like if I say it, it makes me sound conceited. But I'm just gonna say it today because I mean, why not? Why not? You know, it's big ups ourselves. Big ups ourselves. Big up ourselves. Okay? So this is gonna sound conceited. But one of the things I really like about myself is my hair. Let me tell you a little story about my hair. So my hair, when I was a teenager, I didn't understand it. I had so many issues with like just trying to learn how to fix it and everything else. And I'm like, my hair is impossible. My hair is made out of a Brillo pad and refuses to do anything that mankind asks it to do. But magically, whenever I go to a hair salon, it acts perfectly. What the fuck is up with that? It took me years to finally figure out that my hair is actually not bad hair. It's just that my hair requires certain things in order for it to act right. For instance, my hair, much like my skin, is super duper dry. So my hair requires certain moisture steps in order for it to cooperate the way it's supposed to. Also, my hair is very tough. It's gone through a lot and it's still here. And so because it's so tough, it has to literally be tough. So the texture of my hair is always going to be a little bit rough. However, I got a lot of hair to work with. And that's a blessing as a 40-year-old woman because I know a lot of 40-year-old women who have very thin hair and are starting to go bald, like back here. And I have the total opposite of that issue. Also, my hair can keep a curl without hairspray. This curl you see right here, the little curly, wavy texture, whatever, that's literally me with a flat iron earlier this morning, just kind of bending it at the end. No hairspray at all. Kept the curl because my hair knows what it wants to do when it wants to do. And so I'm actually very proud of my hair. Also, I have a beautiful hair color. It doesn't really come across on camera a lot. My hair looks a little bit like, I don't know. Sandy's not the word. Not sandy. But like I have a gray streak right here. And you can kind of see it a little bit more. When I part my hair on this side and my gray streak shows, man, I look killer when my gray streak is showing. But also, I don't know if you could tell in the lighting, my hair is actually red. Like I actually have auburn hair. Naturally auburn hair. My hair color is a dark reddish brown color naturally. And it's not because I highlighted it all. I haven't colored my hair in years. That's just literally what color my hair is. I don't know if the lighting in here is shit, so you really can't tell. But any like the lighter color you see, there's kind of the reddish brown coming through, natural color. So even though I've spent a bit of time talking about how awesome my hair is, and a lot of you may be thinking, I really don't see it because a lot of times when I'm on camera, my hair is pulled back in a ponytail. That's just because longer hair gets on my nerves. I hate the feeling of hair around my ears, so I pull my hair back to keep me from like doing this number all day long. But yeah, I am proud of my hair. After 30 years of fucking with it, we figured each other out. We're now friends, and I'm proud of it. So I'm going to talk about that. Looks like Janini appreciates her eye color. What color are your eyes, dear? Because I'd like to appreciate them too. Also, Janini bought a really pretty shirt the other day. Like, not pretty, like, you know, ooh, gorgeous colors, but the shirt's like, I like K-pop and three other people. And it was a gray shirt with white lettering, and I thought it was really pretty. Like, the lettering that they decided to use to make the shirt was a nice choice of lettering. So, bigs up to you. You have good fashion taste. Okay, your eyes are green. Green is a very special color. People always talk about blue, but green is actually a gorgeous color. So that big ups to you. So Jade says, I like that I have a big knowledge of pop culture and music, but I sometimes don't like it because I don't want people to think I'm a know-it-all. You know, Jade, you ought to be proud of that. A lot of times, if I'm wondering about something, I usually can ask Jade and she's like, oh yeah, that's such the other. And that's really cool because my memory don't work like that no more. I have old lady memory now. So I remember a lot of shit from 20 years ago. I don't remember as much stuff from 2 weeks ago. All right. Cutie Cat says, I really like about myself is my hazel green blue eyes along with my beauty mark on top of my lip. Also, I may be under 5 foot tall for 25, but I love my height even though people think I'm a kid. You know what? I envy you. I used to want to be short so bad because like being as tall as I am, there are certain men that I'm taller than and a whole lot of women I'm taller than, and it makes me feel like I'm a big green giant whenever I'm in public. Like there's old ladies that are like 5 feet tall and I feel like I'm literally hovering over them and it makes me feel so huge and awkward. So yeah, like not a fan of being as tall as I am, but I can reach everything on the top shelf, so nanny nanny boo boo. Also, I have to say, what you were saying here about your beauty mark, I love a good beauty mark. I have one right here. That's not a pimple, it's actually a beauty mark. And I've had that all my life. And I remember the first time I saw like multiple pictures of Marilyn Monroe and I saw that she had a beauty mark, I remember thinking, yeah, we're both special. So see you. Jade says she likes her hair too. When it's done, it's long and thick. Man, I thought I had thick hair. And then I tried to do Jade's hair and I'm like, yeah, no. She's literally got like 4 hairs coming out of every hair follicle. Like it's so thick. There's so much of it. Ugh, I don't know how you do it, Jade. I do not know how you do it. But yeah, we have to big up ourselves. You know, we're in a culture where like if you acknowledge something good about yourself, it's seen as wrong. Like it's seen as being conceited. But like, why can't you be happy about yourself? It's always like you need to wait for people to compliment you. Okay, that's cool and all, but the problem with waiting for people to comment about you or tell you nice things about yourself is that you then go out and you perform behavior to get the feedback. And all of a sudden you become a slave to the feedback. So when you acknowledge good things about yourself and you don't have to have people tell you those good things about yourself, you're basically breaking that feedback loop. You're breaking that cycle. And you no longer have to do performative measures to get that same amount of validation. So, like, I can say confidently that I like the color of my hair and I like what my hair does when I need it to do things. And I don't feel like I need you to tell me that. That's how I feel about myself. And so I don't have to do things with I don't have to always curl my hair to prove how good my hair is. I can wear my hair in a ponytail all the time because I know when I need it, it's going to be there for me. And so I don't have to have it out there for you. It belongs to me. And same thing, if you have beautiful eyes, you don't have to constantly put on eyeshadow and contour and everything else so that people could be like, wow, girl, you have beautiful eyes. Instead, you're like, I know, I have great eyes, don't I? And they're just there and they're just yours. And you don't need people to tell you about it. I have 5 small birthmarks on my body. That's awesome. That's something like, hey, if they ever find a body, just remember there's one on the knee, there's one on the side, there's one in the middle of my back, there's one behind my ear, and there's one, if you look very carefully, on a butt crack. That's how you know it's me. Not saying, but just saying. So Lammy says, I like that I'm inquisitive and always researching and reading about random info online. That's great. That's really great. It means that you know that you're an interesting person and you're an interested person. And that's very valuable in this society. I can't tell you how many times I've sat here in this living room with my daughter on the other side of the table saying, hey mom, what does such and such mean? And I have to constantly tell her, your good girlfriend Googleisha said if you'll just ask her a question, she will answer it for you. And so Stephanie ends up Googling the shit out of stuff, and she learns so much. And then that leads to her watching a YouTube video, which leads to her watching a documentary, which leads to her doing something else. And pretty soon, before I know it, she's off on some whole other adventure because she asked Google, hey, what is this? And so having that, being that inquisitive person, you don't have to wait for your teachers to say, oh, you're smart. Instead, you can just be like, I know I'm smart. I know things. And you can go into conversations confident that wherever the conversation leads to, you've got some input there because you are smart. You just need to have the opportunity maybe to like put that out there, but you know it. You know it, and you carry that confidence with you. And you don't need somebody else to say, oh, how did you know that? You know because you know. And so Anthony says, I like doing theories on K-pop music videos. That is something you need to be confident about. So many people watch a music video like, whatever's going on here doesn't make no sense to me, so I'm gonna keep it moving. Instead, you're like, you know what? I think I understand what the metaphor is here, and I think it has something to do with yada yada yada. And so when you listen to people give their own theories, or when you watch videos about music theories, or if you listen to podcasts about music video theories, you be like, oh yeah, I picked that up. Oh yeah, I got that too. And then without them telling you that you're smart, you've already told yourself, I saw that coming. Pats on the back to me, I know what's up. So let's see. Cutie Cat says she's proud of herself being a gamer along with loving anime and K-pop. And that may not be able to work or bring in an income at the moment due to issues, but I do what I can to return the love support of my family. I think it's awesome that you're a gamer and that you're into anime and K-pop because a lot of the time people look at gaming and K-pop and anime as being these fringe entertainment specters. But the fact is, people are making mad bank gaming. Anime has changed the way that we do cartoon art. K-pop has become a global thing, and for those of us who got into K-pop like back in the early 2000 teens, we're ahead of the curve. Like when everybody's like, "Do you know what K-pop is?" Like, bitch, I been new. Again, a pat on the back without anybody having to tell you anything. You knew. You were ahead of the curve. You knew which way the culture was turning. You were there. You were the one who helped steer the boat, if you will. Take that and make that a thing to be proud of. Tarian says, I like how creatively crafty I am and how I can turn workable random objects into my own thing. I bought a cheap baseball lamp yesterday and I plan to turn it into the moon. That's amazing. That's the type of vision that a lot of people don't have. I myself am not super crafty. Like I'm limited crafty because my artistic skills are not there. But I think it's amazing when people are able to look at something like, I see the possibility in this and I know how to get it there. That is a special kind of skill that a lot of people don't have. And so you should be very proud of that because a lot of people pay big money to buy the products of other people's vision. Let's see what else we got going here. Oh, Alex is catching a cold. I'm sorry. Merry Christmas, Alex. Poor baby, getting sick. Laundra says, what I like about myself, that I'm very open to trying new things, and I like that I constantly tell myself my favorite quote for James Dean, dream as if you'll live forever, live as if you'll die today. I think it's great that you're willing to have those adventures because it means that you're up for everything. Like, I can't tell you how many times I have gone places with people or done things with people like, I don't do that. I don't do that. That is one of the most annoying phrases when you're trying to hang out with somebody when they're like, I don't like that. I don't do that. I don't need that. It's just like, okay, well then what is the point of leaving the house? Like if you don't do that, if you don't eat that, if you don't listen to that, if you don't go those places, why the fuck are you here with me right now? Because like seriously, I'm trying to enjoy the world. this is the only time I have on this earth, unless reincarnation is real. And I'm trying to get these experiences. I'm trying to go places. I'm trying to do things. And if you're not down for the ride, please leave me the fuck alone, because what you're going to do is slow me down. So awesome that you're like, I'm up for the challenge. I'm up to see it. I'm up to do it. Like, we all have our own, like, this is a fine line I will not cross. Like, I'm not going to eat anything that's still wiggling. Fun fact, I'm just not going to do it. But, in terms of like trying new foods or, going to places I've never been, I'm willing to go because I may never get a chance to do that again. So why not do it now? See what else we have. I basically said YOLO to everything. Alex has been a listener of K-pop since 2009. And over the top fan since 2011. Yep, got into K-pop in 2010 thanks to my Korean American roommate from freshman year. Alex says, I like that I'm able to make other people laugh with the random ratchet things I say while not being afraid to speak my mind. I mean, definitely, it takes a bold person to be a bold person. And so it's really cool that you have the confidence to just be out there and be totally insane and wild. I cannot tell you how many videos Alex has done where I've been like, couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Like, dancing in the videos, just like totally going off in the videos. And I was like, I mean, I go off in videos too, but sometimes he really goes off and like, couldn't be me. You're kind of cussing the house down, but all right, girl. All right, all right, all right. But yeah, like definitely a bold personality, which apparently is only on camera. Not saying you're fake, not saying you're fake, but according to Mr. Alex, he has to be very comfortable with you in order for you to get the daily doses of his bold personality. Otherwise, he is an ice prince and he speaks to no one. So, fun times. Lammy says, I remember being hella culture shocked by my first SNSD video. I was overwhelmed by a group of having 9 members. Fast forward damn near 10 years, I barely blink in the thought. It is overwhelming. Like, I remember, okay, so Super Junior was already a thing, and they had already lost members before I got into Super Junior. But I remember when EXO debuted, and I'm like, 12 members? This is insane! Who's gonna be able to keep up with 12 members? I can't remember all these names. There's not enough parts of the song for everyone to sing. What are we doing? Fast forward, and I can name every single member of EXO without blinking. Well, maybe having to blink because, eyes will dry out. But yeah, I was just like, I'm never going to know all these people. Fast forward, and I'm like, why does everybody call him Kai when his name is Jungkook? Like, it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy what you get accustomed to in K-pop. Kitty Cat says, my family has been into gaming since before I was born, and anime as well, so I've been into Japanese Asian culture for a very long time. I'm going on my 8th year of K-pop next June. Oh, that's awesome. I don't know when my K-pop anniversary is. I do know that 2012 was like the big year for me, but my very first K-pop song is Nobody by the Wonder Girls when they were on the Wendy Williams show. And I think that was in 2010 or maybe 2011. So getting close to 10 years here. Getting really close. I love how with my true friends, I can be down to earth with different perspectives, but at the end, we respect our viewpoints and opinions. That's hard to do because people, I actually tweeted this recently. It was a retweet where they were saying like the reason why people get so upset when you criticize the pop culture things they love is because they identify with those pop culture things. So when you criticize the pop culture thing, they feel like you're criticizing them. And I feel like that's totally accurate. Like when people criticize SHINee, I get upset because I'm like, fuck you. Because SHINee means something to me. Because I see myself in their art. And so that's really interesting. It's really interesting how we get that way. And it's hard to let that go. Alex says, same. I remember watching G for the first time and being shocked at how weird the song was and how many people were in the group. Now I learn groups in a day. Janini says, I think I discovered K-pop in 2001. I was into J-pop before that and went to college for Asian studies. Oh, wow. Okay. 2001. That's close to 20 years. Wow. I bet the K-pop scene was totally different back then. Oh, I mean, I know it was totally different. No, it was totally different, but still. Woo! That means you were one of the first people to discover Boa. Oh man, sometimes I wish I was a longtime Boa stan. That's another one I need to buy. I need to buy Boa's new album. It's actually really good if you haven't listened to it. So Dante says, what I like about myself is that I like dancing even though I'm not that good at it. However, I feel like I'm decent at it and I challenge myself to get better. Liking dancing is such a joy. Like, you guys have no idea. I love to dance and sing around my house. I'm terrible at it, and it really hurts me a lot because the songs I want to sing are in a language I don't speak. So a lot of time I have to like fill in, hum until I can get to the one English word I know. But like, I am quick to twerk on a couch. I'm so quick to twerk on a couch, it's unbelievable. And my daughter remains completely embarrassed by me, but I live for embarrassing her. So it's, gratification in both ways. Yeah, my daughter will tell you at the drop of a dime, if you start humming the beginning of Monet, I will drop into a full twerk. No need to ask. I just do it. I get nervous when I dance in front of people. It can be nerve-wracking to dance in front of people, not gonna lie. It's tough. But you gotta dance for everybody. You gotta dance for you. Sometimes you gotta blow your back out for you. That's right. Your bedroom is your own hip hop club. I'm telling you, I'm in the car. In the car is where I do the most dancing I do anywhere else. Like in my house, if my daughter goes dun 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 dun, all of a sudden, hands on knees, blowing what little bit of back I have out. But in the car, don't touch me in the car. Don't touch me in the car because I don't listen to sappy shit in my car. I only listen to the things that make me want to dance. And when I'm in the car and I'm trying to dance, whoo! I got all the moves. I got all of the moves. Don't tell me what to do. I got all of the moves in the car. I'm it. I'm that bitch in the car. I perfected the chair dancing techniques in the car. So yeah, I feel you. I feel you. My dad is the worst. In stores, he'll break out and he's turned 51 soon. And I'm like, I don't know you. Girl, let me tell you. My dad, when I was growing up, was a constant public singer. And my dad didn't have a great voice, but he insisted on singing songs in public. And I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I graduated high school in the 90s. When I was in high school, my dad somehow or another heard Tupac's How Do You Want It? And in the grocery store, we would be walking down the grocery aisles and my dad would be, Bill Clinton, Mr. Bob Dole, but the walnut. I'm like, oh my gosh, if you don't stop, we're in the frozen food section. These white people are looking at us. Please stop it. Don't do this. Don't do this. But yeah, my dad, the only rap song he knew in the grocery aisle, how do you want it? I'm like, you can't do that. Okay, imagine living in El Paso, nothing but Latinos and white people and like a small clustery handful of black people. And you have a 6'2" black man walking down the aisle talking about, how do you want it? How does it feel? Coming up as a nigga in the cash game, living in the fast lane. I'm for real. You can't do this to me. I have to go to school with these people's children. Don't do this to me. But yeah, my stepdad was a good one for a public singing display. I don't know how I survived. I do not know how I survived. So yeah, that was my life. I don't do that to Stephanie. I really, really don't. I mean, there were a couple of times I did this number in the store just because, you gotta embarrass a kid every once in a while. But I try not to do that to her in public too often. I tend to like keep my public persona down. What I am good for is a good cuss out in public. Like, I remember when we went to the Ariana Grande concert, and I talked about this. When those sons of bitches decided that they're gonna give people an open bucket of water and not no fucking lids, and then want to get mad when I'm like, I need a container with a lid, so I'm not walking through these aisles pouring water on everybody. And my daughter's right here with this girl who turned out to be a little bitch. And I'm explaining to them, y'all had months to prepare for this concert. This fucking concert was scheduled for April. It is now fucking June. So you knew that we were going to be in here trying to buy drinks, trying to eat, trying to do all this shit. And you have the nerve to tell me that you ain't got no fucking lids for these cups of water? Bitch, what do you expect me to do? I'm not walking through the crowd with a fucking 50-gallon bucket of water. What? Hello? I need a lid. And if you ain't got a lid for this cup, give me a cup that does have a lid. Quit wasting my fucking time. That going off in public, I do all the time around my daughter. And she is mortified when I do it. But at the same time, I do it for a very good reason. I don't do it just to embarrass her, even though that's a pleasant side effect of this. I do it because I need her to see you cannot be afraid to tell people what you want. You cannot be afraid to voice your displeasure. There's no need for you to disrespect somebody if they have not disrespected you. So in terms of saying, you ugly gorilla, stuff like that, I don't say that to people. But I'm quick to let them know what the flaw is in the system and why they need to fix the flaw in the system. And I always start nice. I always start off with like, excuse me, I was wondering if you could help me with whatever. And if they stay nice and they stay calm, I stay nice and I stay calm. Once they give me the stank face, all bets are off. And that's when I'm just like, listen, if you can't think your way to getting me to the solution I need right now, you need to bring out somebody who can do something about this, because this ain't gonna stand. And I'm always very reasonable about what I'm asking for. I never ask people to give me anything for free. I never ask people to give me something I'm not entitled to or give me something I didn't pay for. I try to keep it as solid as I can because I realize what it's like to be a retail worker in the year 2019, 20, whatever year it happens to be. It's a thankless fucking job. I used to work at Payless, and let me tell you, it is a thankless fucking job. So I try not to yell at people who are doing retail, but because I used to be an assistant manager for retail, I also know there's a lot of assholes who are in this job just to keep from being homeless. And some of those assholes need to be told, you're being an asshole right now. Help me fix this bullshit, instead of acting like you don't see that there's a problem here. So I'm going to put that out there. I have love for retail workers, but some of y'all really be doing way too much. Y'all act like y'all have share in the company or something. It's not amazing chocolate, but I love the little crunchy balls on it. I love balls in my mouth. Right. If you're not doing your job, you get called out. Like, I'm trying to think what's the situation where, okay, so I bought things in stores before and then got to like the parking lot or somewhere else and I realized maybe something was missing or it was already opened or there was a stain, stuff like that. If I go back inside the store, especially if I do it immediately, it's like a huge snow cap. If I do it immediately, usually I don't have a problem. But I've had people be like, well, you should have noticed that before you left here. Bitch, what? Bitch, what? Am I responsible for making sure that your inventory is in good shape? Because no, I don't think I get paid to do that. And so I've had those arguments before. Recently, I went to Burger King and I ordered an Impossible Whopper, which cost almost twice as much as a regular Whopper. Got it back to my office, took a bite. It was real meat. It was not Impossible meat. And so I will go back to the Burger King and I'm going to give them my Whopper back because I'm like, okay, y'all gave me real meat. And when I'm in the line, the lady looks at me before I've even told them what my situation was. She's like, "What's wrong?" That's not how you need to start this conversation, ma'am. Yes, I know you see me with my already Burger King bag, so you know I'm here to talk about a subject. But you don't have to be aggressive. You can just say, "May I help you?" Or, "Oh, is there a problem, ma'am?" That's a nice way to put that too. But to be like, "What's the problem?" The problem is your fucking attitude. That's what the problem is. But I kept it cute because it was the lunch hour and there was a line and I didn't need nobody putting me on YouTube. So I said, "Madam, I was just in your line recently and I bought an Impossible Whopper, but there's real meat in the Swapper." Then after that, she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me get you something else." That conversation could have gone a totally different way if I wasn't feeling magnanimous. But she needs to learn customer service. You don't start with, "What's the problem?" You start with, "How may I help you?" Then you can help me. What's the problem? Again, what's your fucking attitude? But I digress. I like to say that a lot. I digress. But it's true. I meander. So, we've now been on live for 2 hours. Okay, my first job was a retailer, and they just threw me out with no training. Only one on register. People kept yelling at me, and I had a very bad anxiety attack. Got fired. A nightmare. Dollar Tree. Ugh, that's the worst. Dollar Tree is not a good place for anybody to work if you don't have to. I mean, don't get me wrong. We all need jobs, and some people are fantastic at working at Dollar Tree. But the people who come into the Dollar Tree near where I live want a whole lot for a fucking dollar. And that's just not right. It's just not right. Like, okay, what was it? It's been a while since I've been in the Dollar Tree near my house because it's always full of bullshit. So that's why I try not to do anything. Oh, there was a guy that kept coming in and out of the Dollar Tree near my house to bother the employees. And like when he would come in and out, it would always be like, "Why won't you let me use the bathroom?" And then he'd come out and he'd go back in. "Why won't you let me use the helium machine?" Get it, got. "Why won't you sell me steaks?" Get it out. Like, I don't know what this guy, I think the guy was paranoid or something, but like he would go in there and yell at them for things that they wouldn't let him do. But like it would be like something random that like, of course we're not gonna let you do that. What the fuck's wrong with you? But like they had to call security, whoever the security firm is, to like watch the door to make sure the guy won't come in and out. Now everything in that fucking store is $1 because it's the Dollar Tree. Don't nothing cost more than $1 in there. You can imagine how many items you have to sell in order for that store to be able to afford their employee. So this person who's sitting here, who is basically like worth about 10 minutes of the Dollar Tree's time, having to deal with somebody coming in and out, harassing them, yeah, I'd have been ready to fight the next time he walked through the door. But like, "I'm not shit for you, but these fucking hands. Do you hear me? These paws. Leave me the fuck alone." So Alex says, "I don't have the patience for Dollar Tree. The store near me is always a mess. Because my anxiety stopped me from doing a lot of things and took so much courage to do, then ended like that. Just destroyed me completely. Worst idea I ever tried." Lammy says, "I had a panic attack working the register at Michael's, so I can relate." It's tough. Retail in a busy store is enough to drive people insane. Prior to me working for Payless and Torrid in the same week, I had never worked retail. I know. How did I become a big grown woman and not work retail? I'll tell you how. My first job was at a bowling alley, and I was a lane assistant. And then after that, I did like college jobs, and then I did like career type jobs. But then I found myself relocating, and I just needed something to do until I got a main job. And that's how I ended up working at Payless and Torrid the same week, Black Friday week. When I tell you the claustrophobia, insane. So Torrid is not a huge store. If you've ever been in any Torrid, for the big girls who know what I mean, if you've ever been in a Torrid is surprisingly narrow for a store for people with big asses and bellies. And because of it, when you have a whole bunch of people coming in on a holiday weekend, a big sales weekend, it gets really, really tight. And so you're in the Torrid, and the aisles are kind of small, and there's not a lot of room, and they chop up the store with like all these dividers to kind of like serpentine your way through the stores to get to the dressing room. And it's a lot. It is a lot. So I dealt with that the morning of Black Friday. The day of Black Friday, because I only worked toward in the morning, and then at lunchtime it was time for me to start my shift at Payless. The day of Black Friday, the Payless that I worked at was in a mall. The parking lot itself is a nightmare. Getting out of my car, running into the mall, get into the mall. After I get into the mall, through the press of people, my Payless is packed wall to wall. Who knows how many pairs of shoes got stolen that day? But I'm fighting through the crowd of the mall and of the store just to clock in for the day so I could sell these fucking shoes. And I have motherfuckers on the sides of me talking about, I need you to measure my child's feet. I need you to find this pair of this. I need you to find this pair of that. Plus, I have a register with 20 people deep waiting to check out. And it was me and 2 other people working that store that Black Friday. I almost quit. I stayed working there for a few more months, but I almost quit that day because I just couldn't handle it. Like, I couldn't handle the people yelling at me about stuff they needed to have done while I'm facing a line of customers waiting for me to get them checked out. And people ask me to do shit that, like, on a normal day would be fine, on a slow day would be perfect, but on a day like this, it's like, listen, ma'am, if you don't know what size shoe your child wears, why don't you go and try a couple fucking pairs on and see what you think? But right now, I do not have time to measure your child's foot. So yeah, it's tough. Retail is, you practically have to have balls of steel to work retail. Titty balls, volleyballs, whatever balls you need, you practically have to have balls of steel to work retail because people really act like you are an inferior being because you're providing them a service. That is the thing I don't understand. Like, let me come to your job and treat you like shit. Like, people come into a retail store, and because your job is customer service and to help serve them, they act like you are literally their servant. And it's like, I'm not your servant. Slavery has been abolished. So you need to treat me like I'm a human being the same way you are. Yes, I'm going to be kind to you. Yes, I'm going to do whatever I can to make you happy so that you'll spend this money and get the fuck out of here. But in terms of you coming into my store and just hollering at me or trying to boss me around or anything else like that, you got another thing coming. Because that's not happening here, Jack. It's not happening here. So Jade says, one time there were only 2 cashiers and my line was super long and I had to pee so bad. I had to ask a customer if I was cool to pee. It was either that or piss myself. Oh, man. Kitty Cat says, my dad works at the deli at Market Basket. He says it's a nightmare. Alex says, I just want them to know that I'm probably smarter than half the people I see. I can just stay with my college diploma registers. They'll know actually something. No. Because even if you put your college degree there, they're like, oh, well, you must not have been that good at school because you're working here. Like, people are ruthless. And it doesn't matter what level of customer service you're at to. That's the other thing. So working Payless, one thing. I now work as a property manager. And I'm dealing with people who are paying their own mortgages, and I'm doing numbers with them, finance numbers. I'm helping do maintenance and all this other stuff. I'm like working on a lot of different things, which requires me to have a lot of knowledge about a lot of different stuff. I also have my college degree. That means nothing to these people. All they want you to do is do what they told you to do. And I have no problem doing what people tell me to do when the time comes. But, like, I can tell people I have a bachelor's in business administration and a minor in accounting. And they still are like, well, that's not what the financials look like to me. Okay, well, like, this is literally what I studied. Also, I do the financials for multiple organizations. And I can tell you that what I'm telling you now is fact. It's not fiction. It's not made up. This is what it is. But if it's not the story they wanted you to tell them, they don't want to hear it. And it makes it very frustrating to work because you're like, I cannot make up things. Because then you're going to be mad at me because I told you one thing was true and it's really not. All I can tell you is the truth because later on, I need you to not implicate me in whatever bullshit you're on. So all I can tell you is the truth. But people don't want to hear that. And so I can be like, I have a college degree. Like, I legitimately know what I'm talking about. No, ma'am. No, sir. I know what I'm talking about because you serve me. And it is very, very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating to deal with that. You know, it's disheartening. It really is disheartening. Mm, retail is a nightmare. I don't like it. You know, and I don't mind, like, I wouldn't mind the customer is always right if it meant that the customers were actually right. But it's not. It's just another way of saying don't argue with somebody who's going to give you money. That's really what that phrase means. And it means that from the viewpoint of your boss, not necessarily your own viewpoint, which is another reason why it fucking sucks. Ooh. Twitter messages. Sorry, it's not that I'm not trying to talk to you guys. I'm just trying to find things to talk about. Alex bought Crush's album. I hope you like it, Alex. It's really great. G-Friend album. Okay, all right. Let's see here. Oh, you know what's the best part of Christmas? I just want to mention that, by the way. The best part of Christmas when it comes to social media is all of the videos we're going to get of people opening their Christmas presents. I live for that. Like, I know it seems really crazy, but I just really love seeing people get like the best stuff for Christmas. Like, there's a video that I saw on Twitter that I reposted of this old lady getting her Christmas present, and it was a purse. And she's so excited to get this purse. And here it is. I do it. Oh my God! There's just something like super gratifying about seeing somebody like express pure joy from like their toenails to like the tips of their hair. And I live for those kinds of videos. I did see the video of the little girl with the banana, and she's like, it's a banana! And she was like so happy to get a wrapped banana. It's so funny. So yeah, I love that is my favorite part of the Christmas season. Like that, or like the people who for Christmas give their parents like their adoption request. Those are always really fun, where it's like kids who maybe were adopted by not adopted, but like maybe their parent married another person and that person helped raise them. So then when they become an adult, they have their step parent adopt them formally, maybe not before. I love those videos. I love it when people give old people puppies. Those videos. There's so many videos of like an older person who maybe had an animal who died and they're like maybe on their own, and then the family gets together to get them a puppy, and these old people just start crying because like, oh my gosh, I have a new friend. Yeah, all those videos will start coming out soon, and I can't wait. That's what I live for when it comes to Christmas social media. I love seeing people like just truly utterly happy to get something. Like that old lady's excited about a purse, and I don't blame her because that purse she's holding is a Brahmin. My mom has one of those. And those purses are like $400. So yeah, I would be fucking ecstatic too if somebody gave me a $400 purse. But people get like other things that are really important. Like I've seen people cry over having their portraits digitized. So like people would have like old family pictures that are maybe in bad condition, and somebody took it to somebody and they had it digitally refinished, so like the picture is clearer and it's more the way it's supposed to be, and people getting like photo albums with like all their portraits redone and being so grateful to get that kind of stuff. So, like, there's just so many different kind of gifts that bring a smile to people's faces and really embody the Christmas spirit. So even like me as a bah humbug, I'm not really celebrating type of deal, I love seeing people get something that brings them joy. And so I will be looking forward to many, many days of those kinds of videos because they're so precious and perfect, and I love them so, 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 so much. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Well, it's now been close to 2.5 hours, so I think I'm cool for calling it a night right now. But I want to thank you guys for joining me on a live. I know this is an awkward time for a lot of people because it's super late on the East Coast. Let's see, what time is it on the East? It is almost midnight here, which means it's almost 2 in the morning on the East Coast. That is crazy. And then for those of you on the West Coast, it's still pretty late. So yeah, everybody needs their sleep. But Christmas is exactly this, you guys. Like, Christmas, that feeling of being with people who care about you and want to hear about you and interact with you and, wish you the best and want to give you the world. That's what this is. These conversations that we have, that's what this is. I love you guys. My year could not have been what it was without you guys. My channel, to bring it back to kind of social media or whatever, my channel took a lot of hits this year. I was lucky in that a lot of people didn't abandon me after I took my big hiatus a couple years ago. But this year, I didn't do nearly as many unboxings. Most of my videos were lives. A lot of the stuff that I talked about was controversial stuff or stuff that made the news or whatever else. And I really thought that a lot of people wouldn't want to hear from me or talk to me, or a whole bunch of people would unsub. And a lot of people have. I've lost a lot of subs this year. I've lost more subs than some people have, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying, like, I lost quite a few people, but the people who stayed have been tremendous because they're people who legit like me, which is crazy. Like, I'm not anything special. I mean, I do have hair, but in terms of like my personality, I know that there's a million people out there who have similar personalities to me. In terms of like even the fucking way that I look, honestly, I saw a bitch on Twitter the other day who looked just like me. It was kind of scary, actually. But I'm nothing special in terms of like the way I look or the way I talk or the point of view I have. But somehow or another, those people who've decided to continue to be subscribed to me have found something worth sticking around. And I'm grateful for that because it's very rare that you feel that connection. And so I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart because you don't have to be here with me. I know it's super late. You don't have to watch my videos. I know I ramble and I meander and I'm all over the place, and it is what it is. But I appreciate you being here because, again, it's a love thing more than anything. Like, I really feel like we are friends, and what I feel for you guys, you feel for me. And so 2019, there's no way that I would still be here if it wasn't for you guys. 2019 was rough. 2018 was tough. The last couple years have been tough, to be honest with you. 2017 ended the worst way possible. 2019, I lost my uncle. 2018, I lost my uncle. 2019, we lost Kuhara, we lost Sully. There's been so many things about, just the seedy underbelly of K-pop. And it's hard to come on camera and put on a brave face when you want to cry. And sometimes it's even harder to let that brave face go and get on camera and just cry because you're ashamed of crying for people that you've never met or people who seem like they shouldn't affect you the way they do or moments that shouldn't bring you back to those scary places. But I felt confident to do all the things I've done, to talk about the people I've talked about, to address the issues I've addressed, to share myself in the way I have, to share my child in the way that I have with you guys. Because I know that those of you that are still here, and those of you who still watch the videos, and those of you who are still subscribed, what we share is a real connection. And a lot of times, even if I'm not talking about things that you necessarily care about or are part of your life or are of any interest to you, you listen and you watch because you enjoy the time and you enjoy the companionship. And that is amazing. It's not it's not about I watch you because you react to my favorite K-pop videos, or I watch you because you have the biggest collection, or I watch you because you this, that, the other. You watch me because you watch me. And that is fucking amazing. And so thank you for making 2019 bearable when by all accounts it shouldn't have been. Thank you for sticking by me through all of the bullshit, and it's been a lot of it. Thank you for continuing to reinforce the idea that humanity is not lost because sometimes it feels like it is. Thank you for sharing yourselves with me. When I do these chats, I always feel really bad because I don't read every single comment, and it makes it tough because I don't want you guys to feel like you're ignored because I actually go back and I read the chat. I really do. I honestly do. Um, but I feel bad because I'm not reacting to you in the moment sometimes. And sometimes the reason I don't react to you in the moment is because I'm on a spiel and it's hard to interrupt it to get to the comment. Um, but I care. And like I said, I go back and I read these things and they mean something to me. So I appreciate you all so much for the feedback, for being here, for allowing yourselves to be seen and to be heard. I've had people that have left comments or have joined the chat this year that never spoke before. And I hope it's because you feel comfortable. I hope it's because you feel like this is a safe place for you. Um, I hope that you feel the same things that I feel. Um, I had an experience this year, which was really, it was a multifaceted experience. So, Lami, who's in the chat, may still be here, not sure. Um, I met her at the Super M concert. Before I met her, though, I met Jazzy to go to the Super M concert. That experience was such an interesting time for me because so many thoughts about my life here on YouTube kind of came into bold relief in that moment. So, Jazzy, I've known Jazzy now for 5 years, and we just met in November. But we've known each other online, exchanged letters, exchanged gifts, exchanged a lot of information for 5 years. And I met her in November for the first time, November of 2019, for the first time. And when I met her, it was like meeting somebody that I have sat in rooms with before multiple times. Like, I saw her and I knew her face, I knew her voice. She was shorter than I anticipated, but nothing about her felt unfamiliar. And when we started talking, there was no gap. There was no awkwardness. There was no shy. It was just us talking because I felt like I knew her. And then I met Lami. And when I met Lammy, not Lami, Lammy, when I met Lammy, it was kind of the same, but almost like the reverse. She knew me. She knew my face and she knew my voice. And I've always seen her comments in the chat. I've talked to her on Twitter before, but I had never seen her. And when I saw her, all of a sudden, she became real. Whereas Jazzy has always been real to me. And seeing her in real life just reinforced how real she was. Seeing Lammy in person, she became real in that moment. And I wonder sometimes if for her, I became real in that moment because now I'm not a screen and it's not waiting for me to read her comment. It's us actually interacting. And because of that, it was surreal because it was two parts of an experience that I have never had. It was the person who watched me that I've never seen, the person that I've seen and who's seen me, and then me looking at Super M and me seeing the person that I've always seen who's never seen me. So it was really it was trippy. It was really trippy. But again, it reinforced that this YouTube thing is a real thing. It's not me talking to myself. It really is me engaging with people and it really is building relationships. And, once I got over kind of not sure how to talk to Lammy, again, we fell into we've been talking like this forever. And it don't worry about it. It was really it was a little bit awkward just because it's hard to know how to talk to people and shyness of course, but it was still like really surreal to like have that experience, and see it from all sides because there's very few occasions where you can see it from all sides. So yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for this space and for this space letting me meet Lammy. Like honestly, I don't know that we would have ever talked if I had gone to Super M and I didn't have this YouTube channel. There's no fucking way that we would have had a conversation outside the venue. And that sucks because that means that there's a whole bunch of people out there that I could be good friends with that I never will get to see or have a conversation with because I don't know that we could have that. But this was the vehicle to allow me to meet my friends. And so it's a really special place for me. It's a really special experience that I have here. And I don't take it for granted. And it means quite a bit to me. And one day we are going to have our California meetup. Like it's coming. It's not here yet. But one day we are going to have our California meetup. And we're finally going to meet Alex in person because that hasn't happened yet. And then soon we're going to have our East Coast meetup. Don't know when that's going to happen, but we're going to meet up and we're going to do the thing because we need to do it. It's time. It's been past time to do it. But I just wanted to just vomit on you guys for a minute because yeah, I don't think you hear it enough, but you guys are a vital part of the reason why I do this, continue to do this. You guys are some of the first people I think about talking to when things happen. You guys are some of the first people I want to speak with when I feel big emotional waves, especially if Stephanie's not around. You guys are a huge factor in my life, and I look forward to seeing you every time I'm on this live, every time I'm doing anything. If there's anything that you are asking to see from me that maybe I'm not giving you, let me know. Can't promise I'll deliver, but I'll try my best if it's within my powers. And also, I was asked if I'm watching The Untamed. I am not watching The Untamed, but I am reading The Untamed. I need to make sure I mention that. I am reading, it's like Guardians of Demonic Cultivation, I think is what the novel is for The Untamed. I'm reading the novel first because all the boys love moments are actually in the novel, and they cut out all the gay moments in the television show because it's in China and China's not with that bullshit. But I did not realize that the reason why so many K-pop fans have been watching The Untamed is because one of the guys from The Untamed is a member of Unique, which is also the group that Sungyoon from X1 was a part of, also known as Woods. So lots of linkage there when it comes to my K-pop world and my boys love worlds. So that is the reason why I'm trying to catch up with the novel so then I could watch the show. Yes. So that's why I'm trying to read the novel, then I could catch up with the show and make my worlds collide. But in the meantime, I am still watching Dark Blue Kiss, Until We Meet Again, and Tharn Type. I just finished History 3, which I had a lovely rant about. And what else? Think of anything else going on in Boys World canon, but let's just say I'm in the midst of it all. Yeah. Okay, Alex, let me tell you. Chinese boys love, because of China's censorship, you don't get the full gay. They won't give it to you. But Taiwan, on the other hand, they got you. And History 3, Making Our Days Count, if you watch the very last one, I'm telling you now, History 3, Making Our Days Count. If you just cut off that last episode, it is so, so good. So good, so good. So I definitely recommend watching that. Oh, I love them, even though it's censored. I like to think they're just asexual. You know, I mean, it's China. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I just feel like if you're gonna do that, don't play. Just don't play. But anyway, again, off on Tangentsville, and I'm supposed to be wrapping this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to do a Boys Love wrap up, a couple of Boys Love wrap ups, by the way. So just started getting into Boys Love in the last month or so, right? And because I just got into it last month or so, I have been binge watching so many series, trying to catch up with where everybody else is. And I know I'm not going to catch it all, but I've watched most of the main ones that people talk about. And now I'm currently watching the ones that I just mentioned, Dark Blue Kiss, Tharn Type, Until We Meet Again. I'm even watching Hotel Stars, even though Hotel Stars is terrible, and I don't think it's going to have any boys love to it because it's just fucking awful. Anyway, I'm digressing again. I have found I've really wanted to talk about the Boys Love series I'm watching, and I am going to start talking about them here. So whenever I do talk about a Boys Love series, I'll always mention that I'm talking about it in like the subject. That way people don't watch it looking for K-pop content and then finding themselves with Boys Love content, because I realize that even though a lot of K-pop fans do like Boys Love, a lot of K-pop fans don't, and this is not their cup of tea. But I am going to start talking about the series I'm watching a lot more because I have a lot of opinions about the series I'm watching. And I'd like to share them with people. Like, I have a lot of opinions about Dark Blue Kiss, and depending on how this last episode of the series comes out, I may have strong feelings. But my first hot take on them is that Tay and Nu are a terrible couple. Like, Pete and Cal, I'll be honest with you, I don't see how they stay together because there doesn't seem to be any kind of understanding about each other's life positions at all. And Pete's kind of a dick, and Cal's kind of a pushover. Tharn Type, I have got to see how the last episode goes, because right now it's all gone to hell, and I know they're going to redeem it, but it needs to really and truly be redeemed in order for me to feel like that series ended well. And then Until We Meet Again so far is perfect. I recommend everybody watch Until We Meet Again. Like, honestly, it's their game to lose at this point. Like, of all of this, there's been ups and downs with a lot of the series I've been watching. It was like, oh, it's a high point, this is a low point, whatever. At this point in the game, Until We Meet Again, unless they pull a History 3, it is going to be one of the top 5 boys' love series in all of Thailand. Like, honestly, like, it's going to be mentioned up there with like Love by Chance and Sodus. Like, it's going to be up there because the storyline is really neat. The emotional chemistry between the leads is really solid. There's not a whole bunch of filler bullshit going on right now. It's just, it's delivering. It's delivering in all aspects, and it feels like it's just going to get better because there's more things that are going to start being revealed and more connections that are going to be put into place. And we're at episode 7. If there's only 12 episodes, that means we're more than halfway through, and it just has not slowed down or gotten silly. And I highly appreciate that because a lot of shows have let me down once they've gotten to like the halfway range. But yeah, yes, I will be talking about those things. I will be talking about them here. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go. I've been telling myself I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I might see you tomorrow. Don't hold me to that. I might see you tomorrow. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Merry Christmas to you all. You're not alone. We are here together. Christmas is literally just another day on the calendar. Don't let society fool you into thinking that something special is supposed to happen to you on Christmas. You're fine if you're by yourself. You're fine if you're with other people. You're fine if you're working. You're fine if you're off. If you're breathing, you're fine. So, Merry Christmas to you. Know that somebody's thinking about you. Know that somebody cares about you. Know that somebody wishes the best for you and helps you get everything that you're entitled to in the coming year. Bye.